Okay, we're a little behind on the recording of the conference, but we did motion to approve the minutes from June 29th to July 15th of the Hanson Recreation Commission. And this is an open meeting. It is now 6:04 p.m. And just to recap, in attendance is Vice Chair John Zucco, who is myself, Melissa Scartesi, Joan Frizzetti, and Brian Frizzetti, also Bill Boyle, the Rec Director, Recreation Admin Dory Jamison, Health Inspector Gil Amato, and Gene Santorelli from the Boy Scouts. And just coming to attendance, Juvie Hartwig is now in attendance as well. So we have one more set of minutes to approve, the minutes from July 23rd, 2020. Can I get a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve.
Brian, there's motion. Second from Joan. Any discussion on those? No discussion. All in favor? Juvie?
Aye.
Juvie says aye. Melissa, aye. Brian?
Aye.
Joan? Okay, those minutes, the minutes for, and I say aye, the minutes for July 23rd are approved. Moving on to new business, fall programs. Bill, are you taking the lead on this?
I was gonna say, if we may take some things out of order, where we've got both Gene and Gil on the call, and so as to spare them from having to listen to all of this, can we jump in possibly to the Boy Scouts and at least start the discussion on that, and then we can go from there, I guess.
Yep.
Gil and Gene, does that work for you guys?
It's fine. It sounds good.
Does anyone have a problem with that, or everyone good? Looks like we're good. So let's move to the Boy Scouts under old business. So Bill, who's speaking?
Okay, maybe I can just jump in for a second if you wouldn't mind. So Gil, thank you for coming on board. I had asked Gene to also join us tonight so that we could all be kind of on the same page as to how we're going to move forward with our program at Camp Kiwanee. And so just to let the Rec Commission know, we are working on putting together an outdoor educational program, a workshop that we will be offering as a camp to scouting groups such as Whitman Troop. And we are using curriculum that has been approved by the Boy Scouts and that we are going to help run for the troop on a 5-day schedule from approximately 8 o'clock to about 3 o'clock. So I'd like maybe to just ask Gene to kind of speak to whether or not the Scouts are still interested, what their ideas or their plans are moving forward since we're at the tail end of the summer.
Okay, so thank you, Juvie. With the Boy Scout Troop 22 out of Whitman, we've done quite a few projects in the town, so we're familiar with your camp, and years ago we used to attend the camp. So what we're looking to do is bring the Scouts in and do these various programs that Juvie just mentioned. It'll be swimming, it'll be basically crafts, and also some wilderness survival type things, pioneering events. We believe we have right now, as of, I'm trying to find my numbers, we have 22 signed up currently, and we're still getting people signed up because we had put it on the docket, then took it off because we weren't sure if we were going to be able to do it or not. So we should end up, and we believe we're going to be around 35 to 40 Scouts. We should also have approximately 6 to 10 adults, people over 21, helping with the supervision. So each group will be broken into groups of 10. If it's 35, we'll do less. We'll probably break it down so everyone's around 8 at least. That's a good size. They can interact well. We plan to keep everyone with about 25 to 30 feet minimum distance. The camp's big enough this can be done. We're looking at trying to keep, anyone who's going swimming in that area, it'll be limited to the 10 people in the water. The adults most likely will stay on shore. That way there, you know, we keep our buddy system going the way it always has, and it's scout with scout, no adults in the water. Boating, we haven't come up with a number there yet. I believe it's going to stick around 10. We're putting together some kayaks and canoes. And if it's 2-man canoes, there'll be one in the front and one in the back. There'll be more than 6 feet between them. Masks will be worn by everyone with the exception of swimming, which we all can understand why. And most of the people doing the teaching will be scouts, older scouts, and the adults. Juvie, is that pretty much what you were looking for?
Yep, and we will provide, taking some of your curriculum and also the information that we've gotten from the DPH and the Board of Health. We're going to write everything into a program book that basically has the definition of what we're going to do, as well as the COVID precautions, just as we did for the Eagle Project. I'm going to put it in a little binder. Just to let everybody know, I'm not sure if everyone was aware, but the Boy Scouts are going to be renting the pavilion. So that rental will be for the week. We had thought that they're not actually going to be using the pavilion per se, but it's just so that they are able to use our campground. And we're talking about the south end cabins. They're going to be stationed outside of the cabins, not necessarily using that. So we're going to help Jean with our caretaker, Maddie, has agreed to oversee the operations and help Bill with making sure that social distancing is going on, and there's, you know, all the appropriate protocols are being followed, that we have the bathroom situation and all the cleaning schedules that we, you know, need to be in place. So we will have a presence during the entire process, so everything will be monitored, and we will also be taking a look at figuring out how to do temperature checks. We do have, I know, Jean, that you have, you know, paramedics on board as well, but we are making arrangements to get from the hospital a temperature gauge to check all of the scouts in the morning. So all of those things we will write out, and I will forward it to Bill by the end of this weekend, because we already have the paperwork. We're just going to mesh them together so that it's something that Gil can look over and you know, verify, and then everybody else you know, can have input. So we're hoping that we get you guys in August and before the fall.
Yeah, that sounds great. Does anyone have any questions or concerns? Take that as a no. So that sounds great. So Juvie, you'll be getting the stuff to Bill and then get the ball rolling on that.
Yeah, and John, if we could have, once you guys are done, just have Gil weigh in, just because I know that, again, part of this is now moved beyond us and is now with the Board of Health and the Scouts for their permitting. So I think Gil can speak more effectively to that on that, and because that has nothing to do with us. So if we can, once he's ready, turn it over to Gil and just give him the floor.
Okay, Gil, are you ready?
Yep, I'm all set here.
Okay.
So, Bill, I think we've gotten way ahead of what we talked about this afternoon here. Remember, I talked to you about talking to the other councils and the other recreation commissions and how they're doing this stuff. I think Julie's already done a homework ahead of time here, which sounds pretty good, but it does fall on the camp, because the camp has to provide the personnel. The personnel have to be paid for by the camp, and by Camp Kewaunee. We can't call this a camp. It's got to be, you know, listed as an outdoor educational activity. But outdoor education activity and outdoor educational programs. This is the way this has to work. If we start calling it a camp, you know, Boy Scout camp, this and that, then we're going to get in trouble. I've talked to other councils, other you know, administrators of Boy Scouts and stuff, and this is the way they're going to. You know, and a lot of the camps are closed, but this is the best way to approach this. So you have actually, you know, camp counselors there, you know, employees of Camp Kewaunee. You're going to have to get, you know, you have people involved also to make this work. I'm sure someone will complain about it, but if we do all the paperwork and get it listed as outdoor educational programs, we can probably make this work, but it's going to take a lot of work on everybody. I mean, I'll look at the way the thing's going to be set up, but the camp administration has to be involved in this. You've got the guidelines. I know Bill is kind of probably taking you a little bit surprised, probably move a little bit faster than what we talked about this afternoon, but you know, there's different things you can do as a camp per se, Kewanee, as the facility stewards. That's probably the best way to say it, because we really don't want to throw the word camp around too much, because that causes a lot of problems. So, but I think you know, if you get the program, your plan program put together, Billy and I can take a look at it. We can tweet it, and you know, maybe we can get this rolling and get it done right.
Okay, that sounds good. So, and Juvie seem to be in control of everything going. My one question: do we need to have camp lifeguards there, or do you? So you're the Boy Scout people. Do you have lifeguards? What's the story with that?
So can I speak to that very quickly, because we had talked to the Board of Selectmen about that, and I know Jean can also like confirm, but the Board of Selectmen said that should you know the cove be opened, and the Boy Scouts can provide a licensed lifeguard, that this would be possible. The cove, however, is not yet open, so that is something that I think our rec commission should be able to figure out, so that it's something that they're able to do. Because I've got to be honest with you that I'm really thankful that Whitman's coming in to do this program. Once this program, and we have to keep saying that, Camp Kewanee is going to own this program, and the Scouts are going to share what they do. We would like to turn around and offer this to the Rockland Scouts, who've also been inquiring, and we also have a Girl Scout troop out of Braintree who's also inquiring. So I'd really love to get this underway, so we can maybe throw in another camp or two. So in terms of the rec commission, I understand that you know, we're concerned about the funds, but if we can think about you know, the opportunity for the campgrounds to be used, and then trying to vouch for having these guys use the water. It's really very important to the program to get the water badges. So Jean, if you can kind of confirm the lifeguard situation.
Yes, that is actually one of Chad is a former employee of the Camp Kewanee, and happens to be an adult member of our unit. So, and I do have another unit in Braintree of Boys Scouts interested, as well as I've mentioned it to a few other units to try to see if I can draw up some business for Juvie, and it looks like I have a few others that may be interested, so you'd be able to build a bigger group. And if we can get one group off to a start, we can get the word out. And we work with the cable station to create a PSA. We can work with the newspaper. We have good relationship. Juvie's mentioned she has good relationships with them. We can put something together there so we can help present the camp. Two of the other things I wanted to mention is we're looking for 2 projects minimum. One, like to do, you know, work on the trails, clean up your trails, and another project that you might need in camp that we can have the Scouts also do. So, and that, you know, depending upon what they have, we'll try and make it so, you know, it doesn't cost you guys anything, and we can make it look good for you. So.
Hey, can I break in here a second? I believe you're going to have a paid beach director in doing this. I'll check it out, the regulation again, because you're going to have camp personnel involved, people that are paid by a paycheck and receive a W-2. That's also in the regulation. So everything's got to intertwine a little bit. So I think, you know, I think look at this. Good.
Good. Melissa, were you saying something? Or Juvie?
Sorry. No, I was just going to mention, I said, you know, I think that's really doable. You know, Bill's up at the camp. He's a full-time employee. You know, we have all these caretakers. I don't think that's you know, that's not a big ask. I think that's pretty easy on our part.
Yeah, I think because there's no question in my mind if this gets rolling and becomes popular, there's going to be people asking questions, and when people ask questions, problems arise. So I think this is doable. I think you can, put this all together. I mean, I did some research this weekend on it and called a few councils and other people that are going through the same thing. And all the troops and all the Boy Scouts are looking for places to go. That we do realize. But to do it properly, you can't call it camps and you can't call it, you got to be very careful on what you call this program.
Okay, so anyone else have anything to add in?
Yeah, John, I have 3 things, very simple things. This is being done as a rental, right?
Yes.
Do we?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, as far as someone being on the premises at all times, we do have a policy and procedure, not that we've seen them because legal counsel still has them, but this was in effect before they got their hands on it. A caretaker has to be on duty at all times when something's being rented at the camp. So as long as we have enough caretakers for an overnighter, you might have to split a shift between caretakers or whatever's going on. You might have to split a shift. But it is in the policies that a caretaker has to be there during all rentals.
Yeah, this is not gonna be an overnight though.
Yes,
Not
no.
overnight.
No.
And also, how many scouts are going to be attending each thing?
We believe we'll be around 35.
Okay. Our policies, we have to, if we say we open the beach, if we were to say have lifeguards there, the fire chief requires 2 lifeguards minimum, and it's 2 lifeguards for every 50 people too. So you can go up to 50 people with 2 lifeguards, but he requires 2 lifeguards to be on the premises if you're going to be using the water. You just want to make sure you have them too.
I'm sorry. We're only going to have 10 people in the water at a time.
Okay.
Yeah, we've limited that only because we're trying to do the social distancing, and these are the younger guys, and we're trying to get them, ranked up. So this is one of the ways we're looking to try to do it. And this is something we're hoping to do years to come. Also, this isn't a one-shot deal. So this is something we're trying to build, and Juvie's been working with us. Actually, a couple of people from the committee have been trying to help, us orchestrate this. And we submitted all our paperwork. Hopefully everyone got a chance to see that. And I also submitted nationals, and nationals adopted each state's rules on camps. And I submitted that paperwork to Juvie today that I got my hands on from council. And that's what they're going by.
Maybe Gil can answer this question. Gil, do we have to have our own lifeguard on duty, or is one of theirs is a certified lifeguard? Is that sufficient? You know the answer to that?
I'm going to say that's probably the recreation's decision there. But I do believe on the inland beach and stuff, you do have to have a beach director. I'll recheck that. And just another note here, the water at the cove, I took a sample today. And I talked to Diane earlier, I told her that. And also the spraying of the McQuan is going to be done tomorrow. So that stuff's in the works and all set.
Okay. Any further, do we have to motion on this, or is it something already ready to go? Juvie, do you know the answer to that, or? Anyone?
John, I don't know that it needs a motion. I think it's just pending, again, so long as all the paperwork's good and everything, and it's good by the Board of Health. The camp's position is that we certainly want to be able to accommodate them if we can. So I think it's already been voted that so long as the paperwork all makes its way, it should be okay.
So John,
Yeah.
we're going to put together all of the information that was being mentioned by Gene. So the attachment that he sent over to me, it's going to be a reference paper on the plan that we have. So, I'll say see reference from Scout Council, and then also see reference for schedule of events. So Bill will forward that to all of us so that we can see the initial parts of the program. As mentioned, this is something that's brand new to us, and we're hoping to kind of adopt all of this so that we have a nice packaged situation for, hopefully next year. But again, we're definitely gonna do the homework on the lifeguard. I know that we're kind of, when we get there, when we get to this discussion about the Cove and the beach director, I know that's still kind of part of what we're going to be discussing. When all of those details come together, then, I can add it in. But what I'm going to be able to send over is at least the proposal for the Board of Health to take a look at. And once we get that approval, I think the Whitman troop can send a message out to the families, because I know they've all been waiting now for about 4 weeks to see if this camp will, no longer. We've been talking about this for 6-7 weeks. So that's where we're at. So I anticipate that everything will be sent out by Monday of next week.
Sounds great. Okay. Anyone else have any questions or any discussion on this?
John, I just have a comment. I just want to thank Juvie just for really organizing this and keeping this relationship. I think that it's awesome for the camp to be utilized. We don't have anything like this right now. And to use the camp in this way and actually, for years to come, so groups like this can come and enjoy the camp, I think is awesome. So good job, Juvie.
One of the main reasons we have the camp. So that is great. So thank you, Juvie, for doing that. Appreciate it. Okay, so let's move back to new business. First on the agenda under new business is fall programs. So Bill, you gonna take the lead on that?
I'm actually talking to the gentleman that oversees all the facilities for Whitman Hanson to talk about the movie night. So I'm sorry, I'm on the other line if you want to take something out of order, and then I'll jump back on.
Okay. Let's go to the next one, the specific rebooking issue refund request for Ms. McLean. Dory sent out the info. If you want to just give us a quick recap, Dory, on what she's looking for a full refund now, the $2,700.
Yeah, I'll be happy to. And there's actually 2 additional ones that falls under the same agenda item. So this first one, Megan McLean, as you see by the minutes, you had, given her, as soon as she put down a deposit, something had come up. And so you were nice enough to say, okay, you have 2 years to rebook and not 1.
Right.
So she's unable to rebook in 2 years. It's impossible. So she's just asking, is there any way that anything can be done? Because she's not able to have the wedding, and she did put down the money that I had put in on the email. So that's her specific question.
Did she say what the medical issues were? Or?
Yeah, she did. And it's something that she didn't know when she booked it. And when she booked it, she found out, and it was, with her that would-be spouse, and it just is nothing that can be fixed.
Okay.
It's medical,
Now, are we in a position to refund that money? We have that money?
Oh, definitely you can. Yes, we do have the money, and yes, you can refund it. We've been refunding COVID, as you had voted before. Naturally. And so this is not COVID related. It's completely different. So you don't have to, but we do have the money to do it if you wanted to do it, and she's put some money into it, and she'll just lose that money, or she just the wedding is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. It's a sad situation.
Are we sending her a full refund, or is there admin fees we take out?
Pardon me?
Do we take out any admin fees when we send back a refund? Or do we give her the whole amount?
No, we don't.
We don't.
Well, let me just preface that. With COVID, it's been full refunds. So this would be new and different. So you've never done this before. We've only refunded COVID 100%, and we've never done. Well, at least since I've been here, you haven't refunded anything, other than COVID related.
Melissa, do you have something to add?
Really, you could do whatever you want, right? You could do an admin fee. You could.
So
Melissa. So my question, John. So and I've dealt with this before in my job and everything. I think that you were on the right track of maybe we just take out like $250 or something like that for an admin fee if we can. If it's in our bylaws, whatever. If we can do that and then refund the rest, that would be my
Mm-hmm.
That would be my suggestion.
Okay. And,
Well, I think that's more than fair because the policy is 1 year. You were kind enough to extend it to 2, and now she's coming back for this. So, believe me, she would be thrilled.
okay. We need to vote on.
Brian, I have a question, John. Brian and Joan, do you see any with all the rules and regs and all that, do you see that being an issue if we were to take an admin fee and then refund it?
It's pretty much left open on that one. Generally, we just take it all and say, sorry, we can't help you. In this case, I have no problem with taking it as an admin fee of $250 and refunding the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense to me because there's still paperwork and everything else that goes with it. And again, we did let them push out 2 years, and unfortunately there is a medical condition, but I can't imagine her not being happy with something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they would be thrilled. That's more than generous.
Okay, should we, Julie, have anything to add?
I think that the admin fee, we need to recoup some of these monies. I'm sure, this is an unfortunate event for this family, but I think, moving forward, we need to have some kind of recourse because, it does cost us a little bit every time we book these weddings. We can't put anything in place. So, I think I agree with that. I don't know if 250 is the right amount. Is that something we have to talk about in terms of, do we vote on that, or is that something already in place?
No, I think we have to vote on the whole thing here. So it's not in place, but I think it's a pretty good figure. I mean, because Dory has to set up the appointment and then do the contract work. What do you think, Dory?
Yeah, I think 250 is fair. I can tell you that she would be thrilled, and 250 is fair for the work that goes into, the doing the refunds and all the paperwork and the processing and all that. To me, it seems very fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and John, I think it just has to stipulate with the motion again. It might have to go to the Board of Selectmen for final say. Right. But I think if we, if the commission votes on it tonight, it's again, one step closer. We can, forward it along to Greer to get on the agenda for the Selectmen, and then just have them confirm it.
Yeah, that definitely has to be confirmed by the Board of Selectmen. We just can't be throwing money around without them knowing it. So, okay, can we get a motion to refund Megan McLean's deposit? And the amount was, Dory, the exact amount again?
The exact amount, I don't have the email in front of me that I sent you.
I can pop it up, I think.
Well,
2,700 or something like that. Hold on.
Yeah, it was 2,750. I don't have the email in front of me.
I'll tell you in 1 second. Dory, here we go.
I have it. It's $2,750, and then $40 for the bar permit fee, and then the total is $2,790.
That's it. Yep. Thank you.
$2,790. Okay, so we need a motion to refund Megan McLean the amount of $2,790 minus the $250 admin fee.
That would be that. So you're making a motion for minus it, John, would be 2,540.
You got it.
Okay, so I'll make the motion to refund Megan McLean 2,540 for her wedding minus the 250 that we're going to use as an admin.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, we've got a second for the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, Melissa seconds it. Any further discussion on this issue?
Just one thing, John.
Yeah.
That $40, is that something that's part of our contracts, or is that a separate issue with the one-day liquor licenses through the Board of Selectmen? Is that something that goes through our paperwork, or is it separate?
May I, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, you may.
That's a good question. Yes, we've been doing the refunds with that included. So it's kind of like two separate entities in the same thing. So it's the basic amount, and then it's the $40 one-day liquor permit, but it all comes out in the same check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So does kind of go through us, so we can. I just want to make sure we're allowed to authorize that 40. I know COVID's one thing, but this is a rental. I just want to make sure it's within our realm to refund the 40. Not that 40 is a big deal, but I don't have a problem at all with refunding the whole thing. I just don't want to say, step outside and then say, wait a minute, you guys don't have any price to do with the 40 that's done through the Board of Health.
No, we've been working with Greer, and we've been refunding the $40 all along, so it's all part and parcel. But that is a good question. Yep.
Okay, so let's just rephrase this, and Juby, you can just say so moved. We're making a motion, excuse me, to refund Megan McLean from her deposit of $2,790, 40 of which is the bar fee, and we're going to minus $250 administration fee the camp will keep, the enterprise fund will keep, pending approval by the Board of Selectmen. The total amount refunded will be $2,540. Juby, just say
So moved.
Say, so moved.
So moved.
And second is Melissa. Brian, okay.
Second.
And, okay, let's take a vote on this. Melissa?
Aye.
Okay, Brian?
Aye.
Joan?
Aye.
Julie?
Aye.
And myself am an aye. The motion is passed. That will be, Bill will set that up to go before the Board of Selectmen. Okay.
Thank
you.
Yeah.
John, on that one, if I could, through you to Dory. I don't know if you want to share the exact reason with the Board of Selectmen why she's looking for a refund, Dory, but maybe type something up that there's some type of health thing, because they're going to say, well, why are you refunding it? So usually if we follow with kind of a reason why, then they usually support it, rather than saying, why are we doing it? Then they're going to push it off another 2 weeks and she won't get anything.
Right. Yeah. Good. Okay. Excellent.
Now, are there any other refund requests?
Yeah. Two others. We're not off the hook that easy.
Fabulous.
So, okay, great. So the next one is this Sunday. There's a couple from Bridgewater, and they have a graduation party scheduled. So to make a long story short, they are adhering to all the COVID regulations. They are booked from 2 to 6. They plan to do the first session from 2 to 4 and only have 25 people, which is our max in the lodge. And then 4 to 6, do the other 25 people, and that way they get their 50. She's even going to bake 2 cakes so nobody feels left out. And they're completely COVID understanding. They know the masks. There's no bar service. They are going to spray everything down in between. We're going to do every other table. They've got their own disposable linens. So they're like right on the ball with that. We talked with the Board of Health, and they're like, yep, that's fine. The food, as long as one person serves it, and she will be the server, the only one handling the spoon. So it all pans out, which is fine. So her question is, would there be any sort of discount because they're not having the venue that they'd love? They'd love to have, 150 people, and they can't. So I said, I don't know. I'll ask. So it's this Sunday, and I think they'll be able to have it either way, and I think they will have it either way. So this is just, I'm sorry to throw it on you, but Billy and I are throwing it on you, and we're just throwing it on you.
Well, I mean, they. Was it a $3,500 rental?
No, this is only a $400 rental. It's only a graduation party.
Oh, she wants a discount?
Yeah.
$400?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, we still have to pay the caretakers and everything. The caretakers get a discount to us. Yeah.
And she would still need to use our refrigerator, and she would still need to use our oven, and and stuff and all that, and we would have to pay the caretaker.
Basically, she's paying for caretakers and power and gas and all that stuff. That's what you're paying for.
Right.
Yeah.
The bathroom.
Bathroom, water.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All contributes to the septic, which we have to pay to empty.
Yep.
Yeah, not a, I mean, on a $3,500 rental, I mean, you can talk a little bit, but not on a $400 rental.
Yeah, it's only
So-
400.
It's a wedding? No, it's a
No, it's only
graduation.
a graduation party.
Okay, yeah, I would say, are they Hanson residents or no?
No, they're from Bridgewater.
Okay, yeah, we don't discount the Bridgewater.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly.
Just
You know, I mean, they're following.
I
And
would say
this will
no.
be our first venue since March. We haven't had anybody in the lodge.
Yeah,
So we got the go ahead today from the Board of Health that at least we can do that. And they'll
Mhm.
follow the rules.
I mean, I have something,
Melissa, go ahead.
John.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're providing the facility. I mean, we're providing everything that we can. Unfortunately, COVID is not our fault or our, you know, we haven't, you know, we didn't create this. That's an outside thing. You know, we're still providing our facilities. We're letting them use our facilities, our staff. So yeah, no discount.
And we provide the expert admin services, which they're not cheap, you know, you gotta pay Dory.
Oh,
to do all the work ahead of time.
you
And,
don't
you know,
come cheap.
she's still working on it.
Yeah. A lot of work.
Do we need to make a motion on this, or can we just say no?
If you would make a motion, that would be great.
Okay, someone want to make a motion? Anyone?
I make a motion that we stick to our figures and remain at the $400 rental for the lodge for this graduation.
Second.
Brian seconded the motion. Any further discussion? Let's do a roll call. Juvie, yay or nay?
Aye, yay.
Yeah.
Aye, yeah.
Melissa?
Yay, nay, you know, yes.
Yes. Okay, Joan?
Yes.
Yes. And Brian?
Aye.
Aye, and I say aye as well. This does not, I don't believe this has to go before the Board of Selectmen. I think it's just a slam dunk.
Yeah, because it's, yeah, right. So it's just
Motion
status quo.
passed. Stick to our guns. I mean, there's just, you know, it's a $400 rental, and basically you're paying, you know, for everything that goes with it. The caretakers, the admin, the water, the electricity, the power, the gas, all that stuff. The trash disposal. Yeah.
Trash.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Okay.
we gotta stick with that. So that's okay.
John,
So
before
next,
we jump into rentals, can I ask a quick question about the caretakers in the rentals?
yep.
I don't know whether we'll go to Dory or Bill, or actually both, or whoever. The caretakers do know they need to clean the bathrooms every hour. Have they had like a meeting at all talking about COVID and making sure people social distance and, you know, what their duties are as caretakers? Because they've gone from regular caretakers watching to now they're going to have to be active.
Right.
We have gone over cleaning protocols. I did send that to everybody. In terms of having to clean the bathrooms every hour, they won't have to do that for functions. I mean, we're required, you know, really to do a clean, you know, deep clean once a week and once a day. I mean, we'll certainly make sure we stay on top of the restrooms, but, you know, in terms of like a 20-person event, they wouldn't have to be in there every hour, but certainly we would have to make sure everything gets wiped down, you know, when we're the last ones to leave the building. But something like that, it wouldn't have to be every hour.
Bill, John,
But
I
yeah,
have a
they
question.
will be.
Go ahead, Melissa.
Bill, do we have do we have to provide extra sanitizer stations or anything like that when there's events going on?
I mean, we have to have some out. We have it. We've got 3 near the bathroom. We've got a few in the foyer area. So, I mean, we've got sanitizer almost everywhere you look.
Okay.
Beautiful.
We have alcohol wipes too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, on to the next one.
Okay, thank you. The next one is a request, it just came in today, for a baby shower She's looking for September 5th. The date's available because the wedding got moved to 2021. And her question is this. She's renting a tent. She's renting tables. She's renting chairs. She's paying for all of that. And she wants it outside because our outside capacity is 62 and she wants 50 people. So she can't do it inside. So her question is, do we still charge the $400? I mean, she'll be using the caretaker, she'll be using the fridge, she'll be using the oven to heat. But is there some sort of discount where she's not using the lodge for 4 hours? She's using her own tent. She's not using our table and chairs, for example. The caretakers aren't setting them up and taking them down. So is there any leeway in that scenario?
Sorry. I'm sorry, John. I can't help myself when I hear these event things. I'm like, these people. Yeah. Oh, man. Do you want my comment? I mean, she's still using our facility. I mean, it's our grounds. It's our, it's still the camp. I'm assuming she's going to be using the restrooms. Is that?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
We still need caretaker on site.
Yep. Absolutely.
Trash.
Yeah, trash. Trash is a big one.
And they're not Hanson residents, correct?
No, they are not Hanson residents.
So once again, let's take a vote. I
wonder where this is going.
Yeah. So let's start with Melissa this time. Melissa?
You don't know what I'm gonna say. No.
Would you
no.
On whether we should discount on the $400?
No. Nay.
No. Okay. Juvie, you vote?
Nay.
Okay, Joan?
Nay.
Nay, Brian?
Nope.
No, and I am a nay. So still using the facilities. And once again, it's paying more for the personnel, the trash, the restrooms, the admin fees. Yeah. So I say no. Yeah, that's a no. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, Dory. Hey, Dory.
Yes.
Can we take pictures of the tent and how they set it up? Or can one of the caretakers take some pictures? That would be great to see. I would like to see the tent set up and the chairs.
Yeah. She said she already bought the tent. It hasn't been delivered yet. But she's working on the tables and chairs. They haven't been delivered yet. But it sounds. Oh, absolutely, definitely. I think it'll look pretty.
We've been talking about possibly having that in our wheelhouse, for people to rent. Right. So I just wanted to see if we could get some photos of that, and we can use that as like a selling point if we ever get tents. So.
Well, it is a big selling point, and the thing is, we just, I think the big thing from talking to people is they don't want them in their own house because they don't want the bathrooms being used. They don't want people tramping through their house, and to be able to go to Camp Kiwanee and set up a tent and pay whatever, that's wonderful. You get to use our bath, our kitchen, our refrigerator, our stove. You don't have anybody in your own backyard. Your trash gets picked up. I mean, it's kind of like a win-win. You get the numbers, So, yeah. So,
what kind of this is what? What kind of event? What kind of event is this?
This is a baby shower. This is her daughter's first baby. Yeah. Baby shower. So no bar, but really they need the location. They need the space, and they need the restrooms, and they need the refrigerator, and they need the stove, and they need the trash pickup. That's huge, and it's not in their own house.
Yeah, they're under 75, so they can bring their own food. That's correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
So saving a fortune right there, bringing their own food.
So exactly. So I mean so you pay for the tent and the chairs. So what? On a rainy day, you have a big party. You last minute you buy a tent and chairs in your own backyard because the weather didn't work for you. So
okay.
So that's something to think about. We have that to offer. All that space, the venue. Just they pay for the tent and the chairs and the tables. So what?
Okay. I mean, because we would have included tables anyway and chairs, correct, in that fee, the $400?
We would have inside.
Yeah.
We would have
Yeah.
set up the table and break down.
Yeah. So, okay. Let's move on to now the next, any other comments? Brian?
Yeah, what was that date and time again? I'm sorry.
For this last one, they're looking at September 5th.
Okay. And what hours?
I don't know. She did, we had to have she just called today, so we had to have the conversation today. So I'll call her tomorrow, and I think she's going to book it anyway. But like I said, it's available because it's a wedding that went to 2021.
Yeah.
Okay. Once they find out where they're going to put the tent, can you maybe just shoot out a quick email? Because I'm curious as to where they're going to do it. Because we got the stump still in the middle. I'm thinking they're probably going to use the parking lot.
Yeah, that's true, because that's flat with no stumps and no, fire pit.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We'll keep you apprised every step of the way of how they do it, because it is a first. It's a first for all of us for everything, every day.
Yep. Okay.
Thank
so
you.
let's move on. The next item is the 2021 camping season.
Yeah, so I wanted to make a suggestion that we vote for next season to open the camping season early. So normally we open up Memorial Day weekend and then go through mid-October. What I wanted to suggest is starting the camping season May 9th of 2021 and running it through October 31st, 2021. And what it will allow is some of our weddings that have had to postpone, it'll give more of them an opportunity to have their camping weekends, especially in those, couple earlier weeks in May. I think it's a way to accommodate our wedding guests a little bit more, and also, again, it gives us the opportunity in those couple weeks that camping package at $500, it'll help us, bring in a couple extra bucks next season.
Okay. Is that something we need to vote on?
I think so. Yeah, we should vote on that.
Okay. Anyone want to make a motion for that? Have the camping season run from May 9th, 2021 through October 31st, 2021.
I make a motion. Yep, so
Okay.
moved.
Okay. Brian moved in. We'll say Juvie seconded that motion. Any further discussion? Okay. Let's take a vote. Brian, yay or
Aye.
nay? Aye. Joan?
Aye.
Juvie?
Aye.
And Melissa?
Aye.
And I am an aye, so that motion is approved. Do we have to run this before the Board of Selectmen, or are we fine with this? Good to go?
I'll double check. We might be all set, but we can check on that.
Okay. So the motion is approved. Bill will double check on whether it needs to go before the Board of Selectmen.
Thank you.
Okay. Cool. And next up, wedding tents. We're looking for a grant.
So,
for that?
well, we're not going to be able to get a grant, but what may happen, and so I've been gathering some quotes in a couple different, possible tents. We may be able to get this approved through the current CARES Act.
Okay.
So what I have to do is, coordinate. John's the point person with Plymouth County because everything's going through, Plymouth County and the treasurer there. So essentially what I'm going to do is just, again, take, these couple different tents, write up a proposal and say, we're looking to spend, X amount on whether it's, one tent, two tents. The three that I found so far, and what I can do tomorrow, I'll get these scanned in. I printed them off today. I think the one that would work the best, so it's a 40 by 20 heavy duty canopy one. It's, galvanized poles and all that. So it's 800 square feet. It's, it's on sale right now for $1,500. The regular price is $1,700. But I would think, either potentially getting two of these, so it would give us 1,600 square feet of tent.
Right.
Or we've got a different setup through Delta Tents at $859 a tent. That one is a 30 by 20. So we get 600 square feet out of that. So that might actually work out better, because if we got 4 of those at $3,200, you know, we're looking at 2,400 square feet as opposed to 1,600 square feet with the other ones, and it's roughly the same amount of money.
Right.
The
My
third one that
philosophy.
I found.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This one's, I don't know the name of it, but it's it looks kind of like not quite a big circus one, but it's got the kind of 2 poles that go up through the middle, so it almost looks like a circus tent, but it's a fancy wedding tent. That one's 26 by 19, just under $430 a tent, so it's 494 square feet. So if we got 5 of those, it's roughly 2,000 square feet of tent, and that would be around $2,000. You know, and looking at it, not all of them, because I'm looking at all these through Amazon, so not all of them are rated, so it's hard to tell exactly what we'd actually be getting, because I can't find reviews on them. But I mean, my inclination, the one that did have reviews was the Delta one, the 30 by 20, and potentially getting, whether it's 2 of them or 4 of them, and spending a little over $3,000. You know, it would also give us the opportunity, we could set them up in different areas of the camp. We wouldn't have to have them all set up in the same area. We could potentially offer them for, you know, different events, you know, whether it's, I know we'd never do 2 weddings in a day, but potentially if we had somebody, say, renting out the south end, maybe something toward the lodge, you know, it might be a way for us to increase revenue, being able to do 2 events in a day. I would say, so long as it's not weddings, we shouldn't get into that mess. But
right.
But again, it could potentially, you know, help us save some business, but also generate more if we include it as part of a rental package.
Right. I would say, why don't you work with Melissa on this? She's probably better qualified to, you know, aesthetically what she thinks would work best. Actually, we don't want a crappy looking tent. We don't want, but we don't want anything too huge, because, you know, it's easier to wrap up a 25-foot cable than it is to wrap up a 100-foot cable.
Right.
So Melissa, you okay with that? Sort of being the point person with Bill on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I did do some brief research to see if there's any tent companies in the area that, you know, could help us. The other thing too would be to get tents that have sides on them. You know, like, and then also if we could include maybe some heaters. That could be something we could do under the CARES Act as well. You know, provide heaters for people. They attach to the tent. So that's something we could probably ask as well.
Okay.
But yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So Bill, why don't you run those suggestions by Melissa, work with her, and then, you know, we'll go from there.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I can send those to you tomorrow, Melissa. And the good thing is all of these have the removable walls, so you can either put them up or just have it wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does make a big difference.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. Any further discussion on tents? Okay, next item is pond cleanup. So yeah, we're all gonna meet there tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and start cleaning.
Sounds good. I'll see you guys at 8:30. No.
Yeah.
So this was suggested. We got a call from one of our residents on the pond. There is currently some significant overgrowth of, it's either milfoil or hydrilla, but either one is a severely invasive species. Just given the weather and everything, it's been growing. It's been rampant throughout the pond. And the issue is, if it's not taken care of, it can really start to harm, you know, the water, the ecosystem of the pond. So, you know, this community member wanted to see if we could help, you know, organize a pond cleanup day or something. And in talking to the conservation agent, you know, he said, you know, doing something is better than nothing, because the risk that you run is, if you're raking this up, if a piece of it breaks off and floats to the bottom or sinks to the bottom, it immediately roots and then it's to grow like crazy. So
Mm-hmm.
no matter what we do, it's still gonna continue to grow. But at least if we can start to do something about it, we can clean up a lot of it, and then hopefully at some point they can dredge it. Although the machine that used to be utilized by Hanson and Pembroke, the dredging machine, I guess, no longer functions. And I think it's Duxbury or somebody just bought one and they're like 60 grand. So the issue is like, we're not going to be able to get one of these machines, but we can possibly get people out there in shorts and rakes and at least get some of this stuff up and make things look cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
My hesitation just with Camp Kiwanee organizing a pond cleanup day is that if we put this out and we ask for volunteers, we will have to Cory check everybody that wants to sign up.
Yep.
I don't.
And then they're going to say, does this mean we can open the cove?
Right. So I don't know. I mean, we could certainly, help with bodies and everything, but I just don't know if it's something that we want to spearhead, because then we would literally have to take over and again, everybody's going to be Cory checked at that point. We can certainly do it. It's just, it's going to get involved.
The town owns the pond. Is that correct? Who owns the pond?
I think it's state of Mass. I don't know exactly how that works, but I guess the town of Hanson is the steward of the pond, so to speak.
Okay.
John?
Yes, go ahead, Brian.
I know on previous years, the fire department has taken some task in doing some of that. What exactly it was, I don't know, because usually Emma talked with them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they send people down. If not, then I would probably maybe sublet it out, get some prices on subletting it out, because we don't really want to be responsible for, if things come off the dock, ends up growing into the water and all that, then we're kind of liable for it. And we don't really have a lot of luck getting volunteers in this town to help with the camp anyways.
Right.
So you might find one volunteer, to clean 6,000 square feet. So I would maybe talk to Jerry, the fire chief, first and see if they did it in the past. I'm almost positive they did. They usually rake it out, I guess. And if not, maybe get a price from someone who can come down and do it. I think at the end of the day, the town kind of owns it, or they should have a vested interest in it, not just the camp. So it might be something to talk to John, the town administrator, about.
I'll start with Chief Thompson, because John is out this week, so I'll at least start tomorrow with Chief Thompson and see what they've done in the past, and if we can just duplicate it and run with that, awesome.
Where is the growth actually? Where is it located? Is it at the cove or?
All over. So it's at the cove. It's in front of the main lodge. If you're standing on the deck and looking out to the water, you can just see, lumps of it in the water. It's all over.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's gross looking.
Yeah. Okay. So the bill, you've got the bill. We'll talk to Jerry and then John and go from there. Okay. So now we're on to old business. First item is cove opening and beach director.
Yeah.
So we had 2 interviews for beach director, and neither one can really put in the time we need. So any comments, ideas, suggestions?
Well, again, to throw this out, because again, I know that it was suggested, potentially having me, I guess, act as interim beach director. I know Brian had said that can't just be put into place. It would have to be voted on by the commission. So the 2 scenarios that we're kind of looking at right now is potentially still opening with staff, should the commission vote to have me, oversee the beach. The second scenario that may have come to light, and I was hoping Diane was going to be on the call because she's the one that talked to town council. She sent us over like a piece of, Mass General Law, or essentially something saying that we have zero liability at the cove if we don't charge people. Like if we have no staff at the cove and we open it up though for people to swim, we don't incur any liability so long as we don't charge people to use it. So, like, the other possibility, that the two avenues right now is, if the Cove is going to open, it's either still trying to push through and staff it with the staff that we have and the kids that are going to be going back to school mid-August, with, you know, me as the, I guess, acting beach director, which you guys would have to vote on, or potentially pursuing the other avenue of not staffing it, opening it up, and just not charging people to use it. So I don't know exactly where that second scenario stands, because it's something that was sent to me on Friday, and it's brand new. So really fun meeting today. Yeah.
Okay, I did talk to Diane briefly about it, so I kind of have an overall look of what she is proposing. I guess 1, 2, 3, 4 questions that actually have to go to Bill, and we can pretty much sum his up right away. Bill, do you have a lifeguard certification?
No, I do not.
Okay. Now you are first aid certified, right?
I have to re-up, and that's something that I have to talk to either Deputy Chief O'Brien or Chief Thompson about.
Okay, so you don't do CPR, AED, or first aid certification. You don't have that, right?
Not currently, sir, no.
Okay, and you don't have any background with the safety equipment and current rescue techniques at the Cove, correct?
No, I mean, my lifeguarding days go back to like 1999 to 2001, so my stuff's a little outdated. I still have my pocket mask, though.
Okay, so that pretty much sums up what Plan A was. If you,
Hey guys.
Okay, Diana's arrived, so let me turn the reins
I've
over.
arrived.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we at in the agenda?
Cove opening and beach director.
And who's here?
Good timing.
Thank you. Who's at this meeting?
Melissa, Juvie, Brian Frazzetti, John Frazzetti, and myself.
Okay, is Matt Dyer here?
Nope.
And what about, okay, so when I asked Kenny Mitchell, but he's on vacation. Okay. So we have to do something. We either have to petition the Board of Selectmen to open the Cove without any staff, using the new Park and Rec regulation that Kate Federoff sent out. Or if they don't want to do that, we stick with our original plan, and Billy, you'd have to just take over as the director, but not perform in any lifeguard capacity because you're not certified in that. So it would mostly be scheduling and just opening the Cove and making sure that, you know, the plan that we have in place is there and it gets off to a decent start. And then, you know, for a couple hours anyway. And turnovers.
Sorry.
And turnovers and scheduling and that the like. So what does the board think?
Okay. Diane, I was wondering, did you catch any of what I was just talking about, or did you come in at the very tail end?
I came in at the tail end, Brian.
Okay. Required for skills and experience for that position to even overlook the Cove is you have to have a lifeguard certification, CPR and AED, and first aid certification. You also have to have full knowledge of safety equipment and current rescue techniques. That kind of drops Bill out of the picture because unless you have someone that knows all of that you're hiring, and you can make them kind of like a second in command, then we're going to run into a problem on the on the safety part of it.
Well, the lifeguards know all of that, don't they? Because that's part of their certification.
Sometimes, well, usually every year we end up training our own lifeguards. Usually Emma runs a class.
Right, but a lot of them that are coming back were trained by Emma last year.
Yeah, we'd have to find out and make sure they have all their certifications.
Well, I think Bill, you said that all their certifications for the ones that have already put in their paperwork they are already,
And you have to have lifeguard certification, CPR and AED, and first aid certification. You also have to have full knowledge of safety equipment and current rescue techniques. That kind of drops Gil out of the picture.
Hi, Diane. I'm here.
Unless you have
hey, Matt. Matt?
into a problem.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so Selectman Dyer has joined us. And Matt, we are talking about how to best open the cove. So there is really no beach director at this point. We were trying to see if Billy could act in that capacity, but Brian is saying the job description requires certifications that Billy doesn't have right now. And we didn't know if we needed to sort of do an override thing given the situation, or if we should just not open the cove.
Right.
I hear myself echoing. It's very annoying.
I think
computer Diane.
Okay, so yep, go ahead, Matt.
I think if the commission felt that Billy was capable of doing those jobs, I think it would be appropriate to appoint him to be beach director. If it is just, turnovers, scheduling, and the administrative side of it, and then with the lifeguard side of it, if you have any veterans lifeguards that would be able to assist him in that, I think that'd be great. You have to remember too, the beach director is going to be reporting to Billy, and Billy should have an idea of exactly what is he overseeing, right? To make sure that he knows that the beach director is doing their job. That's just my personal opinion on that, but it's really up to the Recreation Commission on how they want to proceed on it. And I think right now with mid-August coming up, you do not want to open up the beach for 2 weeks and then close it and have an Indian summer where it's 90 degrees in September and have no spot to swim. And that's just my opinion on that. But as I said, it's up to the Recreation Commission. And I think that the Recreation Commission has the authority to assign Billy those duties of the administrative side of the beach director and work with a veteran lifeguard to make sure the safety of the visitors of the cove is there.
Okay. Would the rest of the board, since I missed the first part, would the rest of the board like to give me their thoughts on this?
Yes, I think now that we're really winding down towards the end of the summer, I'm more apt to think that trying to petition the Board of Selectmen for just the use of the beach, opening it up, swim at your own risk, might probably be the best route to go, because at this point we're not taking a look at an opening now with lifeguards, etc. Until like the second week of August. So now we're really opening this cove up and, spending our monies for all of 3 weeks. So I think at this point, if we can petition the Board of Selectmen to just swim at your own risk, because I mean, let's face it, the people are swimming at their own risk.
Right, and the police have voiced their concern. They are just sick and tired of going down and asking people to leave the beach. They would rather have us just open the gates and let them swim, as if we had the proper signage up. So that's one thought. Anybody else? Brian, Joan?
I have no opinion. I agree with Julie.
Okay.
Far as that goes. If since we have zero liability, if we don't charge and there's no staff, and we have the signs posted out there, and it's also, it looks like the police are tired of doing a job that they're really not being paid to do. That there are more important things to do than just
I agree.
chasing people.
Okay, so would it be possible then, can we hire a caretaker and we can leave the gates for the beach open and we can open them from 9 to 7? And just as long as we have a caretaker there to open at those times and close at those times, we should be all set, and we can schedule caretakers to rake and clean up any trash that may be there.
Sorry, Diane, what were the times that computer crapped out a little bit? What times did you?
I was thinking if we're not paying beach staff, we could just open the gates from 9 to 7 and just have periodic checks down there. We could just have a caretaker, schedule some caretakers around in the camp, but as long as somebody's there to open the gate and close the gate, once at 9, once at 7, and pick up trash, rake the beach, things like that. If we do that,
oh, sorry.
If we do that, then we're not charging people. The one thing we cannot do is charge them for use of the beach. If we charge them, then we are liable. So in speaking to town council, she said, according to the provision, if we just open it with the proper signage, we should be okay, as long as we're not charging. Billy, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say my suggestion would just be, especially where it happened toward the end of the season last year, cutting it off at 6, just because especially as we get a little later with dusk and everything, and that we've already seen some deals with Triple E. Yep. I think 6 would be a good cutoff, just because it gives time, really before the bugs get heavy, to get people out of there and just decrease that risk.
Okay. So again, though, the Board of Selectmen is not meeting again until August 11th. So we would have to actually ask the chairperson, which is Mr. Mitchell, to call a meeting on that. Like an emergency meeting. He just needs a quorum.
Diane, this is Melissa. I think we need to do that. We can't wait till next week.
Okay. So I think we need to put a statement out on the Cove website and on our Facebook page, etc., saying that that we are having difficulty staffing the beach at this point. And we're not going to be able to open under our original plan. So do you think we should do that before or after we talk to the selectmen about open and swim at your own risk?
Diane, I'd hit the brakes on that one. I think it's not very often where I don't want to be completely transparent. I mean, this meeting's recorded anyways, but I don't think I'd throw that kind of bait out there, because anything that says the Cove, people just tear the place apart. If the Board of Selectmen can meet this week, then it would be better to have something positive saying the Board of Selectmen has now voted to, XYZ.
Okay.
So that way we have definite information. If the Board of Selectmen say no, then that's it, we're done. And then that you can post. I would have an answer before. If not, there's going to be a million questions out there, and it can get pretty ugly.
Matt, how do you feel about that?
Could you repeat what you need the opinion on? Sorry.
So the board thinks we should just petition you guys, the Board of Selectmen, to hold an emergency meeting prior to your scheduled August 11th meeting to put forth a motion to open the beach with a swim at your own risk policy, rather than try to staff it right now where we are short on staff because we don't have a beach director.
Sure. Has the water been tested yet?
Gil was supposed to test it today, and it's a 24-hour rapid test. He will get a verbal confirmation. I do know that the water at, I think it's Furnace Pond over by the Lucky Dog on Route 14 in Pembroke,
That pond does have cyanobacteria in it, but it is not spring fed like our pond. So I'm waiting to hear back from Gil's report.
All right.
Yeah, Gil should have news tomorrow. He tested it today.
Okay.
All right, great. Because I just didn't want us to hold an emergency meeting and not be able to open it until the water was tested.
Okay.
So with that being said, I don't think it would hurt to petition Kenny and ask for a quick meeting, and that would be up to Kenny to see whether or not that would be appropriate, just as everyone kind of said that they would be on vacation this week. So I don't.
Right. Do you think we should include Kate in the meeting?
I think if we're going to discuss something new that has potential liability, I would just want to make sure that.
So if it's got legal ramifications, we want to include town council.
Great. Yep.
Okay. So then we need to put forth a motion and vote on it as a commission to petition the Board of Selectmen to hold a meeting to discuss the opening of Camp Kawani with a swim at your own risk policy.
Cranberry Cove, you mean?
Sorry, Cranberry Cove. Thanks, John.
Diane, just a quick note on it.
Yes.
Before we go on too further. Bill had mentioned earlier, him and Gil were talking, and I guess we have an abutter or whatnot that is complaining about the amount of algae floating around that area. And Bill was going to talk to Jerry Thompson to see if, because I know in the past the fire department's taken some initiative and helped out clean that out, but I guess that was a concern, was the amount of algae that's floating on top around the docks and all that other area.
Well, but there's no movement in the water. If the beach isn't open at its normal capacity, that's going to happen. So, I mean,
right. No, I understand that.
The fire department, I don't recall the fire department ever coming down the last few years. It's never happened before. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Mariah is the abutter. But I mean, if nobody's swimming on it and if the algae is building up around the docks, that's not in her area anyway. She made us put a fence up. So what are we supposed to do about that?
I just didn't know if the algae floating was going to be an issue or not. Because I know Jill talked about it briefly at town meeting that somehow we have to clean that entire dock area out of there because he doesn't want that stuff floating around. Again, it is dormant, the water's not moving, and generally with movement it does get rid of it, and I know that. But he said that there seems to be an excessive amount.
Right, because it's been very dry, no one's been swimming in it, it hasn't been raked out. And I think I did ask Bill, I asked you to put the caretakers on prepping the beach. I asked for that last week.
They've been prepping the beach. Maddie did take care of some of the stuff in the water, but there's just a lot of it. So there's just more that needs to be done.
So maybe fire department could come down and power wash the dock for us, like with a hose or something?
I said I'll talk to Chief Thompson tomorrow to see what they've done in the past and what they can help us with, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so what do we want to do about petitioning the Board of Selectmen? Do we want to make a motion?
I will motion that we petition the Board of Selectmen to have an emergency meeting, is that correct?
Correct.
To open Cranberry Cove to swimmers without supervision or staff at a swim at your own risk policy. And with signage and wording approved by town council.
Thank you, John. Anyone want to second that motion?
I second the motion.
Thanks, Juvie. All those in favor, I will call you one by one. Melissa?
Aye.
Thank you. Joan?
Aye, but please add the hours that we're gonna do it, 9 to 6.
Thank you very much. So noted. Brian Frazzetti?
Aye.
John Zuko?
Aye.
And Diane Cohen, aye. Okay, so we will petition the Board of Selectmen. And after the water's been tested too. So we'll do it tomorrow. I'll call Gil in the morning. And Matt, can you just advise me on how to do that? Do I just send Kenny an email?
Yep, I would email Kenny, and you can also follow up with me, and I'll reach out to Kenny.
Thank you. All right, next on the agenda. Because I don't know what you got.
Events programs.
Okay, what do we got going on, Bill?
So I went and mapped out the disc golf. So it looks like we'd potentially be able to get like a full 18 hole course, so to speak, for the frisbee golf. What I'm looking at now is materials that we can use, because the actual the goals, or like I guess the pin, so to speak, the target that you throw the disc at, the cheapest I found them for was like 60 to 70 bucks a piece. And if we went with a full 18, that's way too much money to be spending on something like that. So what I'm looking into is materials that we could use to set up a similar type receptacle for the hole, so to speak, without spending 80 bucks per.
Okay.
So I should be able to like figure out the materials needed, by this week, get those on order from, either WB Mason or Granger.
It doesn't matter, right. Where is the space going to be for this event?
It's gonna go from the main lodge through the bridal and electric cabin area up into the south end, over in front of Fezzi and past the parking lot into the north end, down the path to right near the frontier, not down into the frontier, but almost right in front of the fire gate, and then back up, finish.
Are you using the open field?
No.
Okay.
No, I figured it was easier and not more compact, but just more efficient to use more of the campgrounds themselves and work over toward the frontier than to try to build it out down toward the field. It made more sense to do it that way.
Okay. All right. So when can we expect that event to be happening?
Well, if I can get the materials in this week, we could potentially have it in a week to 2 weeks. It's just going to hinge on, getting a link set up so that people can register and pay online.
Is this a one-time event, or is this something that we can set up at the camp that people might want to register for and put their own groups together?
Well, I think we should probably control a little bit more than just letting people just do their own groups, just because we're going to have to control numbers. So I think at least to start, especially looking at trying to do it for kids. Again, we do segments of, no more than 8 kids, or 8 or 9, depending on, whether we have 1 or 2 caretakers on staff with them, but no more than groups of 10, and maybe stagger them, a couple times a day, a couple days.
Okay.
I'm so thinking almost like where.
What is the cost for this? What are we charging people? What are we charging people?
I think if we did it in the course of a couple of weeks, like we could do, if there were 2 sessions in a week, we could do $25 a week, and whether we run it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but I think $25 a head.
A head or a group?
A head per kid.
Okay. So, or I know a lot of adults that play it. So, okay. Well
then we could split it up and have like an adult league too, but.
There is nothing, this does not need to go to the Board of Selectmen. This is an event we are promoting at the camp. We are using our staff. We have already cleared through Board of Health to open up events and programs at the camp. We are not selling food. So as long as this happens, as long as this is planned properly, we can start with this event. So that being said, by our next meeting, we should have a date of when this is going to occur and the links all ready to go, and we should open it up for sign up. So whenever that is,
all of that may not be ready by next week, but we'll have at least most of the information. I can't guarantee that the links and stuff will be ready next week.
Well, then I guess you'll have a date of when they're going to be ready then.
Correct, yeah.
We will have definitive information.
Certainly.
Okay. Moving on.
Hold on, Diane,
Yep.
if I could. Before we get too carried away with purchasing things and holes in ones and all this, frisbees and all this other stuff, can we maybe get a complete comprehensive list of, say, the rules, how much it's going to cost, how many people at a time? They have something like this in Middleborough. It is extremely popular, and they make a small fortune off of it.
Right.
But you have to have faith in whoever's going to be running this program has to be there throughout the holes. You almost have to have someone, at the gate checking people in and all that other stuff. So this is another one of those things where there's an awful lot of revolving parts. And if we miss one of those revolving parts, we're going to be in trouble. So
Okay,
is it possible that we may be able to get, from soup to nuts, when they get here, this is what they do. They check in here. These are where the holes are going to be. This is how much it's going to cost. We can either do daily or seasonal at X amount of dollars.
So
we have
an event plan.
So we should have an event plan, a thorough soup to nuts event plan by our next meeting. Right?
Okay, Diane, who are you posing that question to? I think you need to be more specific.
To Bill. Bill, you're the rec director. Can you put together a soup to nuts?
As I said, I just confirmed that. Yes, I said yes.
Yes. Okay, I didn't hear it. I apologize. Okay. Yes, we can do that. So that is what we should have by our next meeting. The dates that this is going to happen. Where are the holes going to be? There should be a drawing of some sort to show us. You should tell us what happens as soon as someone walks through the gate, pays their money, will they have a ticket, how much staff you need, everything, soup to nuts, a comprehensive plan, the same kind of plan I had asked for opening the Cove. Okay?
Loud and clear.
All right, good. Loud and
I-
clear is what I'm aiming for.
Could I,
Yeah, you got it.
I know we're like at events right now, right? Is there a way that I can insert the two things that I have been working on, and one of them I've been working on with Dory, and we've gotten we initially mentioned it to the Board of Selectmen, but I think at this point, since the camp is open, I need to bring it back up for discussion.
Okay, are we talking the story walk?
Yep, the story walk #1, and then the oldies concert.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Start with the story walk, Juby. Go ahead.
I will send it out to Bill. I understand that you guys are looking for the layout. I have a Google map of what we're gonna do. I'm actually asking first and foremost for everybody to think about partnering up with the Children's Museum to do an 80-20, only because I can't really rent, or I don't even know what the heck I'm renting, to be honest with you, because what we're going to do is we're going to use the property that's abutting Camp Kawani. I don't even know who really owns it.
Smitty's Bog. It's the towns, I believe, right, Matt?
That's correct.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so basically a bunch of different folks have done this, and other museums have done it, libraries have done it. And in Falmouth, actually, they have a story walk if you want to go see. And it's basically, Dory has written a book. I don't know if you knew that she was an author. Her book is called, A Bird's Eye View. And she's actually very kindly donated some of the books. So all we're trying to do is give families something to do, #1, and that's recreational. And #2, it kind of helps a little bit with literacy. We have a lot of little ones. So this is geared for preschool age kids to about 2nd grade. But it's a family. So if, have older siblings, they're going to come out as well. And the idea is they're going to check in at Camp Kawani in the South Cabins. We're going to set up a section there, socially distanced with volunteers. Families are going to purchase the time slot where they're going to have about 15 families per hour going through it. It's going to be a half-mile walk through Smitty's Bog. And then basically they're going to walk to each station, read the book. There are, I think we're going to end up with something like 12 stops.
just really
Right.
enough for little ones to like get tired. They're going to read a book.
We get the idea of the story walk. What do you need from us?
I need us to do an 80-20. I do have some sponsors for the Children's Museum. We work off of sponsors. That's really the key thing for us. The camp, we would need a caretaker, and I would need to find out how to get a bathroom in there. If we have to rent the porta potty, obviously it's going to be taken off of the top. I do have 2 sponsors already, so I have $500 to work with.
Okay, but since the camp is open, I believe we can open the bathhouses.
They need to be, so we need to also have like a cleaning schedule, which I'll put in the proposal. So if the camp was our partner, basically we'd split 80, the 80-20. So you get 20% of any of the sponsorships that we get. We also plan on charging families $10 just to participate. And then the other thing that families have asked was if they could either bring a picnic to the space, which is really not in my under my control, because I know it's a public campground. So I really don't know how to go about doing that. But I also have been in conversation with partners that we've had for a food truck festival, and I have 3 food trucks and an ice cream truck that would like to be there. So the idea was the story walk would be like, 5, would start at 5, and the food trucks could be there. I understand we have a triple E situation, so that's going to be.
Gil had spoken to me today about the food trucks. As long as they have their own insurance and all of that, and they're licensed with the Board of Health, and they've got, it's on record and everything, the food trucks is not a problem. Again, we already have permission to open with the camp. We are cleared to run events as long as we have a cleaning schedule, as long as we use our staff. These are programs and events. This is not a day camp or an overnight camp. So we should be able to meet those requirements. How much staffing do you need?
We have them. I just need, I have to have our volunteers. I have our board members that are going to be participating. So we have board members and volunteers. I just need a caretaker, I guess.
Okay. The thing is, Juby, since we are hosting it, we actually do need to use more of our caretakers to get through this with the Board of Health, because we are the ones with the permission to oversee this event. We are the ones with the permission, because we came up with the plan to adhere to all the COVID rules for opening the camp. So we actually do have to have our people kind of running.
No, that's fine, and I'd welcome that definitely, because my hope is that we do these story walks at the camp all of next year. I want us to. So we've spent the Hanson Rod and Gun Club actually paid for the printing of Dory's book has been printed on yard, those yard signs.
Yep.
Printing has done a phenomenal job. You should see it. It's really nice. Pictures came out well. So the camp will keep this. And it's my hope that we use this again moving forward. So I just I have to do it this is a template. So yeah, definitely.
Okay. So we need to vote on doing an 80-20 split with the South Shore Children's Museum to hold a story walk event according to a written plan that you have submitted or will submit. Is that correct?
Correct. It's a PowerPoint.
Okay. So as long as everybody understands that.
I have a question, Diane.
Yes, go right ahead.
Diane.
Who's that,
Juby?
Melissa?
Yeah, yep. Juby,
okay, go
how
ahead.
Are you doing the registration? How are you doing the registration? Are you just doing Square again, like we did for the movie night?
Yeah, everything we do is Square. So this is not a walk-in event, and we already have like a set of families that participate. So for example, for the bunny breakfast, I think I'd mentioned to you guys I had 70 families.
Right.
And so, they were looking to come to the event. So we're certainly not going to put 70 families in there, but we'll have like 15 families, which if you did averages, there's 4 or 5 families. So it'll be about less than 100 people at one time. A lot of these families, their kids are going to be done after an hour.
Julie,
So
when are you looking to have this event?
I would like to have this event August 29th.
Okay. So in the meantime, please, did you send everybody the PowerPoint?
No, I can't do that. I have to send it to Bill, and then he will forward it to you.
Okay, so we should see a PowerPoint tomorrow that at our next meeting, we can vote to have this event at the camp, and we can start, you can advertise it because we are partnering with you. So
I actually need to be honest with you, I actually, in terms of marketing, I need to market it a little bit sooner. So I don't even know when our next meeting is, but as you guys know, it's already the first week of August. You know, it's a 3-week period. So I really kind of need to be able to market it a little bit sooner.
Okay.
Diane,
Yes, go ahead, Brian.
you're talking 80-20. Why? And she already has, and you already have sponsors, Juvie. Why aren't we just doing it as a? Who's pressing their buttons? Why aren't you just doing it as a regular rental, like we do with drama kids and yoga, and we did with the drums?
Because
they're where are they going? What are they renting? They're not really technically using our space. They're sort of using it as a gateway into the space. Into
you won't be walking through the camp at all. You're not doing the south end, north end.
No, we're just going to use it. No, it's basically because Smitty's Bog, you can enter from the south end, and then when they come back, when they loop around, you enter for you exit back up from the you know, from the whatever the other side of you know, the south cabin. So that's what we're going to do is it's sort of like a half loop. Family's going to do a half loop. And then, so we just really need the grounds. We're not going into any buildings. When kids are going to get a stamp, when they read the entire book, they're going to get a stamp. They're going to answer like little questions. And then some of the families want to hang out and, you know, have a picnic on the grounds, just to be out. And it was my hope that, you know,
Okay. So you are using the grounds.
They're using the grounds,
we are using
Brian,
the
but
grounds.
we don't have a rental fee for just the grounds to walk through them. So
you kind of do, you kind of don't. It's a regular rental agreement, which is what, like yoga goes outside during the summer. That doesn't mean that we don't have an 80-20 split, because anybody that uses the ground as a business.
Right. So that's what she's proposing, an 80-20 split.
Right. So just do a regular rental agreement. Like we do with, you know, again, the drama kids, yoga, drum. The drum guy used to be outside.
Right. Right. That's what she's asking for. So why can't she wants to be able to do it now? So are you comfortable voting on it now?
We don't need to vote on that. All she has to do is sign a contract.
Okay.
This is something that doesn't need to be voted on.
Okay, great.
Perfect. Because we don't vote on drama kids or yoga. I mean, once a year we do.
Right, once a year we do, but this is a new thing, so I was wondering if we needed to vote on it.
Yeah, I would imagine we can if it makes you feel better, but it just sounds like a standard 80-20 contract to me. But
okay, fine, go for it. And
where can I get that contract, by the way?
Dory has the contract.
I'll use our other ones as a template, Juvie. I'll type it up and send it over to you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah,
that'd be great. What's your next event?
So the Golden Oldies, we can't have it inside, but the thought was to have a live band. There's this gentleman that used to do children's concerts for us. They have they can do a concert. They've got like a stage that's COVID. The Board of Health in Hanover has approved their stage. They have like some you know, guards like that they can perform outside. So if we had an outdoor space, which I'm thinking in front of Needles Lodge, and they would play between 6 to 8 o'clock, and that has been really kind of the sweet hour for a lot of the other towns. They're playing in Hanover. I really want to do this obviously for the children's museums. We had a Golden Oldies thing, but I'd like to try to start some concerts outside concerts for seniors. And I'm hearing from at least from a lot of our grandparents that, you know, just an opportunity to listen to the Golden Oldies.
Okay, so what dates are you looking at?
That one is so one is oh my gosh, August 30th. So it's that weekend. So I guess I'm gonna take over the camp that weekend.
Okay. So
It's
again,
a Sunday night.
Again, are we doing this 80-20 split because this is for the Children's Museum, correct?
Yeah, I prefer. It just makes it easier. The thing is,
Nope, I totally get it.
Yeah. It just
Okay,
makes it easier.
so we need, how many caretakers do you need? Can you work out all the details with Bill on that?
Yeah, it's again under 100. I don't have a lot of seniors attending this one. I think initially when we were going to host it inside, we were shooting for 100, but I'd be lucky, honestly, if I get like 35, 40. But again, I got sponsorships for it, so I kind of have to follow through.
Right. Can we put links? Can we put links to your sign up site on our website so that people in Hanson know about these events? Because technically you're going to be marketing them through the Children's Museum, but we want people in Hanson to also know the camp is being used for these things. So can we put those events out there on our site with a link to your?
I appreciate that. I don't think so. Just because, Diane, this is going to be we're going to just open up a can of worms in terms of just conflict with our marketing. So we put it out to Hanson anyway, like that people in Hanson will know about it because of the marketing that we do on Facebook and other venues.
Julie.
Yeah.
Julie, can't the Camp Quaney site, the web account, the Facebook account, can't they just share the event?
They can share the event, but yeah, they can share the event. But remember, because I have sponsors here, the town cannot promote this event because some of the companies that are involved in these events, there's going to be a conflict of interest for the town. So yeah, the camp can say, check out what's happening this weekend at Camp Quaney, but the camp itself can't market it as as what they're doing. So I was
just saying, like, if you make an event on Facebook, can they just share it? You know what I mean? Like, just say that, happening this week, whatever.
Yeah. No, that's plausible. And I know we do have to check out also the ethics committee. I am, by the way, just to let everybody know, I am not a paid director at the Children's Museum. I am a volunteer director. I do not get a paycheck from the Children's Museum. It's as if I was just part of the board. So I'm
okay. Can we put it in our newsletter?
Yes, I would like for it to go on the newsletter because it would be helpful for the camp moving forward to say, these are activities that we have at the camp, and then I'd like the camp to own it moving forward because this is not something the Children's Museum is going to keep doing.
Okay, so for now, let's get the 80-20 contracts for both those events so that you can start marketing them and we can schedule the caretakers appropriately. And so far, if anybody's taking notes, I think we've got those two events. We've got a plan for the Frisbee. We need to talk to the fire department about the algae. We need to do the petition the Board of Selectmen about opening the cove. So that's what we've discussed so far for those of you that are taking notes. Bill and Jory, you're going to work with Juvie on the 80-20 split rental things for these two events, correct?
Correct.
I'll get those
Okay.
through tomorrow.
All right. What's next? Juvie, thanks for all your work. It's going to be great. Thanks for using the camp.
Movie night.
Since we've been talking about programs, one more, and it was already mentioned, yoga. She has asked, and again, it would be outside and all that, but I would like to see if the commission would make a motion just to extend the yoga contract for another year, allow her back. No changes to the current contract, just what it's always been. And as long as she abides by the governor's rules and, all the COVID protocols, we'd like to see the yoga program back and at least, on the grounds.
Would someone like to put forth a motion to, renew the contract for yoga in nature for Deb Bloss at the current, with no changes and adhering to all COVID regulations and protocols?
So moved.
So moved. Thank you, Joan. Or Melissa, whoever said that. I don't know who it was. And would someone like to second it? Did anybody second?
I'll second it. I can do-
Thanks, Joan. Okay, so Melissa made the motion, seconded. All those in favor, I'm pretty sure everybody will be in favor, but I'll poll you. John Zuko,
Aye.
Melissa Scartese,
Aye.
Brian Frizzetti,
Jane,
Joan Frizzetti,
Aye.
Judy Hartwig.
Aye.
Okay, and Diane Cohen is aye. Okay, motion carries. Extend the contract. Anything else? Next on the agenda?
Movie night.
Movie night. Happening Wednesday, hopefully after the hurricane. So Gil told me that the school is going to be sprayed for Triple E probably tomorrow. I don't know what we're looking at here for weather. Do we need to postpone this until Thursday, or what are we looking at? Is there any discussion here?
I did. So Diane, I'll just chime in.
Yep.
I did look. It really is coming in. The storm's really coming in tomorrow into Tuesday night. I'm expecting. It looks like it's going to be out of here by like Wednesday morning.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but we should. Tomorrow we can kind of gauge. We can kind of look at the weather. I do have all the emails of everybody registered. So,
yeah.
And we do have a rain date, so we can kind of make the call probably by like noon. Midday tomorrow, see how it's going.
Okay, so we need to make that call so that I can call Busy Bee and reschedule the movie screen.
Absolutely, and we also have the porta potty coming in, so Juvie will, we can reschedule that.
What is the name of the porta potty company?
DRK. They've come to the town before, like we're listed.
Can you please make sure, does the Board of Health have their information?
Yeah, I think so.
We need to make sure.
Bill is
Diane,
Bill. I think is going to.
Yeah, the information was
that,
received
Diane.
today. I will confirm with Teresa tomorrow that she has it, but we did receive that information today.
Okay, thank you. All right. So movie night, we're gonna head on with it on Wednesday night, and we're all good to go. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I just have one thing, Diane.
Go ahead, Melissa.
Bill, cones. We're gonna need. I met with Juvie on Friday at McQuan to kind of map out stuff, and we're gonna need a lot of cones. What's the status with that? With the highway department?
Matt is gonna bring as many cones as he has available to us Wednesday afternoon.
Okay. Do we
I don't know
know
the exact count, but he's gonna bring as many as he can spare. He's gonna bring.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll do what we can do.
I have a question.
And just one other thing. Sorry.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Hold
just
on.
one other thing.
I'll let Melissa go, and then John Zuko. Go ahead.
Bill, do you want me to grab that DVD from you? I didn't know what your plan was. Are you going to be there on Wednesday night, or do you want me to grab it?
I mean, I'll be there because I have to meet Matt, prior to get the cones out, and it might make sense. You and Juvie were meeting to map it out, so if possible, he's going to have his guys, if they can help us out, put the cones out. So I will find out what time that meeting's going to be Wednesday, if everything proceeds. And it might make sense to have you guys there since you have the vision of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That way we can get everything get out appropriately.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay,
So the porta potty's coming at noon, and then Busy Bee is coming at about 4:30. So I'll probably be there by 4:30.
Okay, John Zuko, did you have a question?
Yeah, so Busy Bee is doing the screen and everything. Is that what they're doing?
Correct. They send somebody with it to set it up and run it because it's their equipment.
Okay, they doing sound as well?
Yes, they are.
Okay, cool. Okay.
John.
Okay.
Hey, John. Sorry, John. I purchased a FM transmitter And so we're going to be able to, and I tested it, it works awesome. So we'll be able to transmit the sound into people's car speakers. They're just going to have to turn to a FM station, and then the movie will come through their car speakers.
Fabulous.
Do we have a piece of paper or anything that prints the station that they need to put on and everything?
I can do that, because then we can hand it to the car. I can do that.
Okay, thank you. All right, anything else on movie night? Okay, what's next?
We already did the Boy Scouts earlier. So
Great.
we're going general correspondence.
Any general correspondence, Bill?
I have no idea. I was requested to put this on, so I don't know if anybody else got any.
Anybody else have any general?
Yeah.
Are there any wedding requests for sending the money back?
We already went over that. Yep.
Yeah, we covered those.
We already went over that.
Okay, can I just ask how it went?
Nope. Yeah.
We have one that's getting refunded minus an admin fee.
Okay, thank you.
$250 admin fee. We're
Okay,
holding on.
sounds good. All right, anything else?
General correspondence, anyone?
Moving on.
Okay, teams.
Well, there's nobody for the Cove. We've already gone over that. Facilities, Brian Frazzetti, do you have anything?
Not yet. We will, by the next meeting, me and Brian will have something.
Sounds good.
I do want
else?
to, yeah, I want to pipe in a little bit. We know that we're in need of volunteers, and so I did call out to a couple of people in town. As you guys know, we've been kind of on social media with people asking about different things that were going on at the camp. We are currently trying to rebuild our relationship with the Friends of Camp Kiwanee, and we're working towards that. But there were some other folks that wanted to participate. So we have the families of Camp Kiwanee that I'm kind of helping to encourage to build. We cannot join their meeting, or all of us join their meeting, or else it becomes like an open meeting, as you guys know.
Violation.
So we just need to have, one or two people from our rec commission to just kind of join in on, and we don't have to all the time, once in a while, but just so that we know that these people are there, forming and trying to encourage families to join in. They're basically going to be our volunteer base, because I know that we struggle with that, and so it would be nice to encourage them. I can tell you that for movie night, for example, a handful of them are coming to just volunteer. I think it's a good start. We know that the Friends of Camp Kiwanee, that's what they used to do. We're really hoping that.
Right.
We can
okay, so what are you looking for, Juvie? You want a team created for that, or do you want some of us?
Yep, I think so. And I also just want to, also just disclose that that's happening. It's a positive thing that's happening. And I'd like to have, somebody join, to create that team. I think we need to call that outreach. So volunteer / outreach.
I'll volunteer.
Okay, Melissa.
Thank you. That's it. If anybody else wants to join, obviously the commitment is really just, once in a while to pop into some of the meetings. And honestly, moving forward, guys, we're going to be talking about the Halloween thing. I'd really like to use the families of Camp Kiwanee, the Friends of Camp Kiwanee, whatever, to join in with us to make sure that, more of the cabins are decorated. I know we try to ask local businesses, but this is really something to focus on.
They did a great job, the businesses too, so we can include both.
Oh, absolutely, yep.
Do we want to move into Halloween, or did you guys already discuss it?
No.
Not yet.
We haven't discussed it, no.
Okay, is it next, or what else is next after general correspondence?
That would have been under, no, that's under general correspondence if you want to talk about it.
Okay, we already talked about general correspondence. We just did teams. What else?
We're in teams right now. What do you want that to be called? Outreach?
I think I don't know, Brian. I'm open to suggestions. Something volunteer outreach, because we definitely need to grow that. We need to grow that.
How about community relationships?
What?
Whatever you guys want. I have the original, so I can just add it to the teams.
Okay.
But I just want to know what you want to call and who's going to be on it.
Community outreach.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
And who's on? Julie and Melissa?
Yep.
Okay. Julie.
Okay,
And-
anything else? Sorry,
Yeah,
Julie,
just-
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I know I'm being a pain, but just another thing. Dory I don't know if you guys have been getting her emails, but she has so kindly stepped up to put together a newsletter. I know she's taking it on, but I'm wondering if we should maybe kind of talk a little bit about that. Dory, I thought maybe I'd throw you in here and see what your thoughts were about, participation from the board, because I know I'm gonna hopefully include the Boy Scout, a write-up for the Boy Scouts in there, and hopefully Melissa will put something in there, and
About movie night.
yeah. So I think everybody, anything that you can think of that we can use to put out to the community. So Dory, I don't know if you had anything to add.
Yeah, thank you. Anything that you can think of, we're thinking kind of like, obviously Kewanee Chronicles, and then, maybe Needles News, and have stuff with the lodge. And I know we were talking about what's cooking at Camp Kewanee, and John gave an awesome recipe, and I was thinking of like doing a recipe a month, and whatever, the events that are coming up, obviously, and just keep it, positive and proactive, and just put it out every month, just something out there. And so whatever you want, if you could send to me, that would be great. And I think it'll be great.
Maybe Mr. Dyer and the rest of the selectmen who have been here forever can give us some local, trivia about the camp too, to put in there, fun facts or anything like that.
Exactly. I think that's what's really important. Like, I don't mean to digress, but just like on Friday, I just had this old elderly couple come, and she grew up at the end of the Camp Kewanee Road, and this Camp Kewanee was her backyard. And she came in, and she just wanted to, she was a senior lifesaver, and it was so cute. And she just wanted to see the cabin, and she and her husband wanted to stay here again. It was like she went down memory lane, and she's asking me, can you tell me anything about the camp? And I said, I think you can tell me more about the camp than I can tell you. And the history that she knew was amazing. So I just got the feeling like we should always keep it like, with Albert Burridge, and then.
But maybe you could reach out to her and have something, like have a past chronicles column, an interview.
Going down memory lane and like interview all these folks that have a fun memory. Maybe she'll have a picture of her time there.
Right.
Exactly. She told me these amazing stories, and she would ride her bike with her brother, and then she had an unfortunate story that happened at the Cove. But other than that, it was very it was great, and we exchanged information, and she's going to come back and stay at the cabin when we're ready to have her. But it's that whole thing. I just think there's a history, and there's just Camp Kewanee is definitely a hidden treasure, as everybody says, but it really is. And I think it's just, so I've got a lot of ideas. Billy has a lot of ideas. And if there's anything that you want, if you could send it, and if we miss a month, we'll put it out next month. And we'll
Thank you, Dory. That sounds great.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Go ahead, Matt.
Wes Bloss actually did a really great job on writing the history of Camp Kewanee, and it's actually a book on loan at the library. So it has a lot of great stories of individuals and their experience up at the camp. And if you haven't picked it up, I would highly recommend it. Add it to your summer reading list. It's really insightful to what the camp was, where it was going, and where we are today.
That's the sad part. Okay. Hopefully we're getting out of where we are today.
Definitely.
Okay. So what is next on the agenda, John?
We need to stick back to teams for 1 second.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm just, because my battery's going to die, and I'm looking for my cord, but I don't have it because I'm not at my own house. Go ahead.
Quite a while back, we talked about taking John Zuko, which was on the web. If you look at the teams list, he was supposed to be on the web, and somehow he got taken off the web. Unless the town administrator had an issue with it, which I've heard nothing back from him. So I'm guessing
I haven't either.
I would like the motion to put John Zuko back on only as oversight, meaning he doesn't change anything, he doesn't add anything, he doesn't comment on anything. Just
Doesn't
oversight.
comment on, and John, no commenting on Facebook or Yahoo about anything related to the code?
Judy and I are never on Facebook.
Okay,
Correct.
go ahead.
Okay, John.
So that would be the .com page, the wedding wire page. All that does is it allows an extra set of eyes that say he sees something out there that maybe he may say, hey, Bill, why don't you try this? Or something like
Right.
that. It gives an extra set of eyes that can look into it. And again, our positions as teams aren't to change things, aren't to spend money, aren't to, go outside the comp. It's just to kind of offer some assistance where I think it's needed. And to be honest with you, I think it's needed looking at the .com page and the wedding wire and the Facebook page, to be honest with you.
Do you want to put forth a motion, Brian?
But I just said motion. To put John Zuko back on the oversight.
Okay,
the
does anybody want to second that motion?
Second,
Diane, just real quick, I think you have to add to the motion that it has to be dependent on the town administrator approval. And just to add that to the motion.
Okay,
That's already dead in the water. We didn't need their approval to begin with. I don't even know why John was removed.
yeah, I think it's only, I do think it's only I think it's only a commission things based on just how we got the official websites ourselves anyway. Like
John Zuko did all that.
Right. So
This is a com thing. This isn't a town administrator thing or a legal thing or any of that garbage.
okay, so the motion has been made, the motion has been seconded. All those in favor, I will pull you individually. John Zuko,
Aye.
Melissa Scartese,
Aye.
Juby Hartwig,
Aye.
Brian Frizzetti,
Aye.
Joan Frizzetti,
aye.
Diane Cohen is aye. Okay, John, I
Yeah.
want to caution you.
You want to talk to me?
No, I don't want to
Oh.
talk to you.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I'm just kidding. I want to caution you.
Yeah.
Please, 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 keep us abreast of what's happening, but only factual, no opinion. If anything is, if you have a question or concern.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
all Bill's job, yeah.
What is next?
Next is waste management.
Do we have a new dumpster?
No, the contract has been sent to John for his review, and from what I've told, he has to sign all contracts. So I'm waiting to hear back from him if he's got any input on it. But as it stands right now, we don't have a new contract because we have to wait.
Right.
to get
Okay. Have the old
approval.
dumpsters been picked up?
The trash one has. There's apparently an issue. The small recycling one is still there. So I'm following it up with them tomorrow to see when the heck they're coming to get it. Because the other one's
What is
gone.
what is the issue?
That's what I need to find out. There shouldn't be an issue. They picked up one.
Okay.
I don't know why they didn't pick up the other.
Okay. All right. So the never-ending relationship with Republic continues. Okay. Moving on after dumpster. What's next?
Facilities.
Facilities.
We don't have a facilities update, do we?
Not much.
Nope.
No.
Okay. Other than at the budget meeting, there was money appropriated to the camp for the fixing of wiring.
So yeah, that's town meeting recap, which is after facilities.
Okay, go ahead. Town meeting recap. Go.
So yeah, as it stands through the capital matrix, we're approved for $35,000 toward ventilation in the kitchen to do the hood and electric, as well as $50,000 toward the lodge wiring, for a total
Okay.
of $85,000.
Yay. Have you reached out to Chris regarding the ventilation in the hood or anything?
I have not yet. No, I've been starting to look at possible like hood setups, and I'm also trying to get Flight Alarm, which came in and redid our alarm system, to see if they have they obviously, deal with some of these systems as well.
Yeah.
So I will reach out to Chris, reach out to them too, and we'll start pricing it out.
Yeah, let's let the experts pick what we need because I wouldn't know what I was looking at. I'm not sure any of us really would. So
Yeah.
let's okay, so I'll give Chris a call. Okay, and anything else after town meeting?
Well, and just, with that, depending on what it's going to cost, obviously anything over $10,000, we will have to go out to bid and get 3 bids and all that. So just as we start to price this out, my guess is that we will be reaching out to collect bids.
So put out RFPs, and do we have to do that if we do it in stages?
Yeah.
I'll confirm with John. I think.
Because I'm sorry, Billy. I was just going to say that's kind of bid
No,
splitting.
actually, Dory, you go for it.
Dory, go ahead.
Yeah, so if it's like
yeah, I'm sorry.
hood, we can't say.
That's the whole point of the whole public bidding process is
Okay.
that prevents bid splitting. So it must be the whole. But
okay, so we'll put out an RFP for it and have people start coming in. Do you know people that you want to? Do you know how to go about the process of putting out the RFP, Bill?
Yeah.
To a degree, I know with Dory having a wealth of knowledge there, and John, we'll make sure it's set up right. So.
Okay, so ASAP on that then, because that takes forever to get people's bids in, especially in the summer. Okay, what's after that?
Adjournment.
Okay.
I have one thing.
I second. Where did we stand on Halloween? I didn't hear that. I must have missed that earlier.
We didn't talk about it.
We didn't talk about it.
Oh, okay. All right. We have a date though, don't we?
Yes.
October 25th.
With a rain date of November. I think it's November 1.
Yeah.
I think that's what you guys decided. Yeah, I have to look at
right.
this.
Okay. All right.
Diane?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Melissa?
Yes.
Just one thing.
Yes.
Movie night. Is John Zuko, are you going to be there?
I'm not sure yet. I'm supposed to cover a job. I have a game. I got to do an American Legion game in Robinson Field from 3 to 5. I'm supposed to cover a rock and roll bingo thing in Carver after that. But now I think the guy's coming back. So, yeah, it's excitement plus. So I think he's going to be back. So I'm going to just tell him to do his rock and roll bingo thing, and then I can head over to movie night.
Okay.
So
the Frazzettis, are you going to be there? You going to be there?
I don't know yet.
I don't know.
Okay. I'm just trying to get an idea of volunteers.
I'll be there.
Juvie will be there, and I will be there, and Bill will be there. Okay.
Okay.
I'll text Melissa in a few.
All right. Sounds good.
When's our next meeting?
Diane?
Yes, Joan.
I need to ask Billy, has he ever found where the donation paper is so I can write that out so we can get submitted to the selectmen?
Dory, do you know where, or Bill, do you know where the donation papers are?
Donations for which part?
So requesting that we accept a donation, the Board of Selectmen has to approve it, so there has to be paperwork.
Right.
Oh, you mean to accept?
We talk
Yes.
about.
To accept a donation.
Accepting a gift is a vote of the Board of Selectmen. I don't know. I've not seen any paperwork on Hanson on it.
Can we find out?
Selectmen.
Can we find out where that paperwork is? Maybe call Town Hall tomorrow and ask somebody?
I know it goes on a Board of Selectmen agenda, and then they vote to accept a gift on behalf of the town. But
right.
they may have specific paperwork. We can check tomorrow, Billy.
And which gift are we talking about? I'm sorry, I missed the first part of this. What?
I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It has to be any donation. So.
Oh, I mean, last time I just typed something up and I submitted it to Greer, and then it goes to the Board of Selectmen. That there was no official piece of paperwork. It was just.
Okay. So, Joan, can you work with Bill on that and figure it out? Maybe send him an email?
Yep, I'll do that. I can go down to the camp too.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Again, what
When's our
donation?
next?
I'm just confused. What donation?
Yeah, next meeting.
You guys can talk about the donation. It could be, I think it was like Christmas decorations or something, Joan?
Halloween decorations.
Halloween.
Skeletons and all and that talk.
Sounds good.
They're all battery operated.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. If
Joan,
we get
I'll
that,
send you an email.
just specifically
Okay.
is, we'll send it to the Board of Selectmen for their vote.
Can we look at the agenda, please? I mean, at the calendar for our next meeting.
We don't have an official date because our IT director is gone this week. So
Okay, I'm gone for the next 2 weeks.
I'll work.
So I'm gone for the next 2 weeks. I will be back. When am I gone? I'm leaving the 5th. I will be back the 20th.
You want to shoot for Monday the 24th?
Monday the 24th sounds good to me. Does everybody else agree with it?
Fine with me.
I'll work on that with.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, so August 24th will be the next meeting. Would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay,
I second.
thank you very much. All those in favor, Mr. Zucco,
Aye.
Mr. Frizzetti,
Aye.
Joan Frizzetti,
Aye.
Melissa Scartese,
Aye.
Juby Hartweg,
Aye.
Diane Cohen, aye. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great night, and I will see you at movie night, most of you.
Yes.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Thank
Great.
you. Bye, guys.
Good night.
All right.
Night.
Aye.